Mushrooms are profitable, highly profitable. The human race and people who have money are now looking forward to healthy options of meals, and that is why mushroom is now getting serious traction in the marketplace. For the medicine,
Mushroom is very, very lucrative. That's what you're
yes,
saying.
very, very
Coming
lucrative.
from somebody who has a mushroom farm, I'll take that very serious. Very, very lucrative.
Very, very lucrative.
I'll get into detail. That very detailed, very, very lucrative.
This is the stereotypes.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to our today's section. Today we have a guest in the studio. His name is Mike Osiagor, a passionate agropreneur. Mike, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Shoots, for having me. Thank you.
Mike, I just want to start. I want to ask you, how did you get into the agro space?
Okay, agriculture is a fascinating thing for me, and I believe more in the business of agriculture. And currently, I'm more interested in exotic agro commodities. These are gray areas in the agro space that most people have no idea how much those areas are printing. Stuff like mushroom farming, stuff like snails, stuff like bell pepper, green pepper, and all those exotic agro commodities. And the interesting thing is these agro commodities have scalability potential, export potential, and has the ability to make someone wealthy beyond your scope of imaginations. So that's one of my fascinations. Then, as a person, my name is Michael Osiagor, currently a serving corps member in the city of Enugu. I am a businessman who is interested in exotic agro commodities. So I think that's it for now.
Okay, people want to know, what did you study? Did you study agriculture?
No, not exactly. I actually did industrial chemistry in school, and one of the things that caught my attention, that dragged me in the area of agriculture, is the concept of health, wealth, and longevity. Being an industrial chemist, it opened me up to different things in terms of nutritional benefits of things we eat and how those things we consume either aid us to live a healthy life or reduce our lifespan in terms of long life. And all these caught my attention. And then when I looked into the agro space, I haven't taken a particular course called strategic foresighting.
Strategic foresighting?
Yes,
In school?
not actually in school. It's a course you can do online. The whole concept of strategic foresighting is you looking at an industry or looking at a situation or about looking about something, and you look at the previous trends in that particular industry. You look at what are the things that has happened in that industry before, what are the things that are happening now, what are the factors that have affected the decisions that made things to happen in that industry before, what are the factors that are affecting the things that are happening in industry now, and just opposing between these two things, and then you can comfortably predict the future of that industry, whether it will be successful, whether it's scalable, whether it's profitable.
And that's how you landed into the agro space.
Yes. So,
So that means you started in school. Because as a core member and you're deep neck into it now, you're almost passionate now.
yeah,
I think so.
taking the skill, I developed the skill of foresighting, strategic foresighting in
From the course you are.
yes, from that course. And then for the fact that I've also been in the marketing space, marketing is always about looking at things you can give to people that helps them solve their problems. And if you solve problems in scale, then
Make a lot
you
of
make
money.
money in scale.
In scale, yeah.
So looking at that, combining my marketing skill to that skill of strategic foresight, and I saw an opportunity in the agro space, and I decided to give it my all.
Before we get down to what we have today, like the agro space, that's mushroom particularly. Now, what because for every young person watching or a core member, people wanting to do one or two things, and especially a lot of people are interested in agriculture. They've tried it, and at a point, some people invested a lot of money in ginger. And so I have some of my guys who went into ginger, kumba, and all those kind of things. What is your overview of agro sector in Nigeria?
Okay, about the agro sector, I have a concern about most of the industries we have here in Nigeria. And the concern is actually an opportunity for some persons like me. And the concern is this: when people go to learn skills, the first thing they do is limit and box themselves in one segment of the industry. Whereas for any economy to grow in any industry or in any country, people who want to strive and bring in innovations should first of all learn the value chains of any industry they want to play in.
Okay, explain what you mean by the value chain, because I think that's where the problem comes from. Because I was actually driving out, especially in the poultry farm. There are a lot of people. Even my mom also has poultry, and I think she's almost abandoning it now because during Christmas, you see thousands of birds in the market. Sometimes they don't even make up to the money they spend training those birds. You get so
Yeah.
like you talked about value chain now. That means I think someone like Okonji-Iweala actually said something like this one time during Good Lucks that will concentrate a lot on one aspect of it. Like almost 90% of people are doing one thing and then the other 10% are doing the other one.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a challenge the way Nigerians approach the business sector, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing because there would always be the 80-20 rule or the 90-10 rule, where 10 people or 10% or 20% of the people make the most money while 80% of the people do the most work. So here's the thing. In the agro space, there are value chains. And when we say value chains, we actually mean stages that a particular thing goes through till it reaches its final destination. So limiting this concept now to the agro space, we are talking about plants, seeds, soil, production, which is the cultivation and all that goes into that. Then after that, we are talking about storage and preservation, it's another value chain. After storage and preservation, we are talking about value addition, processing. After processing, we are talking about packaging. After packaging, we are talking about marketing, sales, either to the local market or to export. So these are different things that makes up the value chain. Let's take the poultry you mentioned as a case study.
Okay.
So there is the feed, there is the chickens, and the little bits that people buy to rear and make money. So there is the feeds, there is that one, there is medications for the birds, there is structures for people who want to set up poultry farms, and there is preservation and storage. When the chickens are at due, do you sell them to the markets? Do you kill and put them in ovens, put them in freezers to preserve, or do you process them to get something else, or mix them with something to get?
I think this particular place you explain now is what problem in Nigeria. This value addition, like what you're explaining now, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Do you sell to the market? So you have options,
Yeah.
but currently they don't have option. You only take the open market and sell. Or you have people who are supplying to. So you understand, like what you're saying. I don't think most people won't sit down and say, do I go towards this route? Do I just take it to the market? Do I kill and preserve them? Will I be selling ads? But that's the problem.
Okay, about that, I stumbled on something online recently, and it made perfect sense to what my principles has always been. I don't take money from anybody that is desperate to come into the mushroom space. Once I see you that you're desperate, you want to use the last card to come into the mushroom space, I would allow you go. But most trainers do this. People come into sectors with their last card. They just hear that there is money pumping out in this sector. They pull out all their last card and they go into that area. And they tell you with 50,000, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that, you don't need to act. You pour in 50,000 and you get into that sector and you see that there's a whole lot of other things you're supposed to do. So it all gets to me now. The first thing you must learn, if you don't have the financial capacity to do that, please go home and rest. The first thing you must learn is the value chain of the mushroom industry. If you're not ready to learn it, please go to someone else and pay to teach you mushroom production. I'm okay with that. But when you understand mushroom value chains, you become or you set yourself to join the top 10 people in the industry. Now you're not forcing yourself into the industry. You know that there are sectors in this industry that you can pick into. Now you look at your strength. What are your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities, and all that? You do your SWOT analysis, and you know, okay, with my capacity now, I can play in value chain A and not value chain B for now. But with the financial capacity I have, I can do processing. I uptake from farmers, process, add value, and sell. I can't go into production. Okay, so all this comes to play when you understand the value chain. Now you understand your strength, and you understand with my strength, the financial capacity, and everything I have, this is where I can comfortably play. But if we don't do this particular training, everybody would rush into the mushroom industry and start producing. Then we start producing, and at a particular time in the season of the year, you have a whole lot of mushroom in the market, and the market women now control the price of mushroom, not the farmers controlling the price again.
I see. Let's get straight to the mushroom business. And